Hi, greetings everybody. I'm going to reshoot a video. My first one had so many sound errors and movement errors, it was ridiculous. So, man, this little guy here, this is Tiggy. He's kind of crazy, a little bit addle-pated as we call him, but we're going to shoot this video again. He wasn't in the first one, but he happened to come along, so I'm holding him and cuddling him. We'll get the video on a tripod, and hopefully it being steady will help the microphone. I probably should be using the external mic that I bought there a couple years ago, but it's kind of a pain to get out. So anyway, this video is just a vlog. Oh, you're being nice. Video is just a vlog, nothing big. Just wanted to share with you guys something I decided to do tonight. Was finally put myself out there on the photography front. I, as some of you know, have been enjoying DSLR photography for quite a little while now. It's after my dad passed away, and he passed away in 2018. We got the DSLR camera not too long after that, and I started to really enjoy that. Predominantly, oh, he's gonna walk up here. Predominantly on bird photos and nature photography and such, but played with that, learned a lot with it, and earlier this spring my brother asked me if I could photo his wedding for him. Huge leap, right? If you know anything about wedding photography, you know it's very, very different. And just using the camera, everything utterly is different with something like nature photography versus a wedding photography. But I spent like 2-3 months watching YouTube and learning all kinds of stuff about that, and learned a ton. That was helpful and useful and just all around surprising. I did the wedding and learned even more about editing. I'd always been a very, very light editor, but there were things with the wedding pictures that I wanted to fix or lighting that I wanted to correct, and I had to learn how to do that. So did that. All in all, I feel like I did a pretty decent job. Could have been better. There were certainly things I did not like about wedding photography, like directing large groups of people. Not in this introvert's vein of personality. Didn't want to particularly repeat that part. Thankfully my brother helped me. The poor groom's up there directing himself, but he's got a much better personality for that than I do. I suppose it's a skill I could learn eventually, but just not something I really enjoyed. But the working with the couple and working with individuals, totally was fine with that. I enjoy being behind the lens and just so many things I enjoy about photography. But with all of that said, I had decided that, you know, I would kind of like to do this photography thing more and maybe make a little bit of money off of it. So back in the summer I decided to go ahead and get a domain name and get that situated, so I had a place for my portfolio and I could direct people and then maybe take in some portrait photography on a weekend, stuff like that. My primary mission, if y'all know me, is homeschooling and homemaking. That is not changing. I am still, that is my full-time duty, but on the side is what I'm talking about for the photography. But I put the site, got it built, got it paid for with a domain name, and I kept kind of sitting on my hands, to be honest, because I was a little bit terrified to do this whole thing. Mostly it's my introvert personality really, really screaming at me, making it very uncomfortable. I know a lot of people probably won't even get, why is it uncomfortable? It just is. I kept delaying, I kept delaying, kept delaying. Finally got the site done, which the site wasn't really a lot of work. It's not that complicated one. It's just basically a place to direct people to say, here's pictures I took. This is what I can do. If you like me, hire me, right? You know, that and a page of rates. Got all that fixed up, decided to send it to my mom. Say, hey mom, look at this before I share it on Facebook. Link wouldn't work. And I'm like, okay, why didn't link work? I was the biggest idiot ever. I spelled my own name wrong when I registered the domain. Who does this? Who spells their own name wrong when they register their own name as a domain address? This girl, she did it. Yeah, that can't be fixed. So I decided it was a good time to change the name. What I did, I was like, you know what, maybe the good Lord just didn't want me to use my name. I had only done the whole use my own name because that's what a lot of photographers do, and I'm just like, not that creative on that particular point, so, you know, I just went with the name. But my name is a little odd to spell. There's various spellings of even my name Eleanor, and then my last name is unusual. So I'm like, you know, I really should have a name that I can easily tell somebody if I'm out in Walmart, yes, go to such and such website address, and there's no ambiguous spellings or anything like that. So I prayed about it, came up with Focus on Blessings, like nothing too crazy to do. I checked and it was available, so I went ahead and bought the domain. Not a big investment, $12 a year, no big deal. Made a simple site, got everything transferred over. Thankfully, my error hadn't lost a lot of time. It was just the initial money I had spent on the domain, so all in all, not a big deal. Probably just as well that I got to change the domain name anyway. But then I still sat on it. I sat on it for, I don't know, 3 or 4 more weeks. But today I'm like, you know what, I am tired of sitting on this. I don't want to regret not having put myself out there. It's awkward, it's embarrassing, it's uncomfortable. I feel perfectly good at doing the pictures. I feel like the pictures are every bit as good as what other people pay for. I see lots of other photographers, new and old, that are asking a lot of money for things. I'm like, well, I can do that, or I can even do better than that. So it just depends, but I know I can do this. It's just that getting out there, that getting started. So I decided to get started tonight. I shared my link on Facebook, and some neighbors will have seen it, and some people I know, and absolutely nothing may come of it. I realize this, and I am okay with that. If that is what the good Lord wants, I am perfectly fine with that. I can at least have that peace that I talked about in a previous video, that I know I took care of something. I know that it was really nagging at me, that I needed to put myself out there and try it. If it fails, that's okay. Completely fine. The money would be a blessing if it works out to be able to bring in a little side cash, but if it doesn't, the good Lord has provided all of our needs and blessings through my husband and through his job, and I greatly appreciate that. But if I am able to be a blessing and offer a little side help, that is wonderful. I don't know if it'll work out, but I know I can have peace that I tried. The photography thing has just been wonderful to me. I enjoy it so much that it's just, I suppose, only logical to try to make a little side money. I have been making money on Shutterstock with it. I have sold quite a few photos on there, but they're usually like 10 cents a sell. You have no control over what they're sold for. So on my site, I'm going to put some of the other odd things like the bird photos and stuff like that for sale too. Far more inexpensive than other sites would do that, but in general, I still don't mind if people share those things and use them as long as they have the watermark and whatnot. But portrait photography is kind of the main reason I set this site up. So we'll see. I enjoy it, which kind of surprised me. I never expected to. I always knew I would probably like the nature photography, but portrait surprised me thoroughly that I enjoy that. There's just a certain something that when you can capture that in a photo and preserve that moment and that memory, I just find that fun. So I don't know, we'll see how it goes. But I wanted to encourage you today, if there's something you're sitting on your hands and you're like, you know what, I should try this particular thing, maybe it's taking up a new hobby or learning something new, do it, go for it. You don't want to have the regrets out there. No, photography wouldn't, it's not a big grand thing in the life, right? It's just a little thing, but it's something that I know I would have regretted had I not tried. So I am glad that I've tried, and we'll see what things come of it. It may be nothing, but again, that peace will be immeasurable knowing that I gave the effort. So I encourage you to give an effort on whatever it is that's nagging at you that you know you need to try and you need to do. Maybe it's embarrassing to you and awkward for your personality. I don't know. Have at it, go for it. Try to solve it, work on it, learn whatever it is you need to learn. I've always liked to be learning something new. I devoured photography for quite a long time, and now I think the thing I've been focusing on a lot lately is also learning woodworking, because of having to build a front porch steps. So I just always like to be learning. It's just my personality and how I am. But I never really expected photography to be quite the passion that it has become for me, in that I just find it relaxing, and I don't know, I really enjoy it. So maybe my enjoyment can bless my family and bless others. I don't intend on ever being a crazy expensive photographer. I just want to provide people some captured memories of precious times and people, and be able to do that for affordable price that can also pay for my time and help my family. So we will see how things go and go from there. Pray for me as I venture out there, because like I said, it's kind of embarrassing and awkward when you're an introvert. Most people seem totally okay with this stuff. Why is it so weird for me? I don't know, but it is. Whatever's weird for you, tackle it. Go get it. Knock it out. I bet even if just you know and you tried, you'll feel better. So I hope this video finds you all blessed, and I hope you guys have a wonderful evening.